Welcome back to the Compressor Guru. Today's episode is a bit different, but it's going to really help you if you are having any trouble at all with your air compressor. And now here's the Guru.
This episode's very different.
Yeah?
Okay. I was expecting an argument.
No, I think it's pretty different.
This is a warning. Do not trust AI for your air compressor diagnostic tool. Quite frankly, don't trust it for much. If you want to play with pictures, if you want to play with writing a real nice letter to somebody, that might be what you want to do. But recently I got a email from a customer and he was having an issue, and when I'm at the shop I work off a desktop and I have a program for my email, and you get the email, you look at it, you write the response. On my phone it said, do you want to use the AI recommended reply? I have never done that, but I took a look at it and it was totally wrong. So I wrote a quick note back to the customer. I'd get him a price in the morning. I'd let him know. And I did, of course. Got me thinking about AI versus RI. Now, I don't know if RI is a acronym being used yet, but it's real intelligence. I spoke to a friend.
Wait, are you creating new words again?
Yeah, yes.
Oh boy. It's not going to catch on, folks. But go ahead.
Surmumption.
Yeah.
Surmise and assumption. Surmumption. AI versus RI. Use your RI. Do not trust this AI thing. I took and tested 5 different questions in AI, technical questions about computer diagnostics. Not repair, just the diagnostics. And this was after I spoke to a friend of mine. His name's Ethan. And Ethan owns a computer repair company and a networking company, amongst a few other companies. He's very geeky, nerdy, cool kind of guy. And I was asking him about AI, and he says, oh, doctors are using it, it's saving us all kinds of time. And I'm like, and I explained to him about the response to this. What he told me was AI is a summary. When you do Google, not AI, when you do Google and you ask a question, it'll give you 400,000 results, and you've got to start going through the results and finding the one that is correct for you. What AI does is it takes those 400,000 results from your Google search, it looks at all of them and gives you an answer with 4 or 5 possibilities. When I tested 5 different questions, more than 40% of the answers were wrong. And when I say wrong, the correct answer wasn't even in the top 3 of the summary points that AI gave me. I did test Yahoo, I think it's called Yahoo Scott, and whatever the Google AI tool is. That being said, I was talking to the camera wife, and she says, I was a teacher. Were you a teacher?
I was a teacher, and when he started saying this, it made me think of students. Like, I've been a teacher a long time, so I went through the
There weren't computers when she started teaching.
There weren't, so they got them when I was in college. Now, of course, they printed out those cards that they were only good to make wreaths out of at Christmas time if you spray painted them.
And
but
they were the size of this room.
They were. But I was at the very beginning of computers. However, when students first started to use computers and they had a question, we were trying to teach them how to do research using the internet. but inevitably Wikipedia would come up. And we had to express to the students, you can't trust Wikipedia. And you can't trust Wikipedia because anybody can go in and edit it. If they don't agree with what's in there, they can make it whatever they want it to be. And you know, there's scammers everywhere, so they're out there putting whatever in there to make people believe it, and you can't trust that. Well, that's sort of what he's talking about with using AI, because it goes out and searches on Google and doesn't always give you the best answer or the right answer. So I equate this to Wikipedia, which, by the way, I still use Wikipedia for a lot of things. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Go ahead.
So anybody can put something on Wikipedia, and anybody can put something on the internet or Google, and no matter how wrong it is, it's kind of like the urban myth. You know, everybody believes that there was a car that ran on water and Detroit bought it up. And if enough people put that on the internet, an AI search result is going to be, say you AI tested, was there ever a car that would run on water? I would bet the result would come up, yes. In addition to steam, Detroit bought a patent on a water carburetor. That never happened. It's an urban myth.
I have another question. Why did you start the Compressor Guru's YouTube channel?
One of the big reasons, I thought I was going to retire. And it looks like I'm never retiring, but I thought I was going to
That's
retire.
good, because he'll drive me crazy. Go ahead.
I thought I was going to retire, and there's nobody out here doing this. This is a very specialized job.
But there were people doing it.
There still are people doing it.
But what were they doing? They were posting videos. You saw a video on YouTube.
On YouTube. Oh,
yeah.
You want the whole story? I don't think my viewers want to hear the whole story.
I don't know.
There's a lot of bad information on YouTube.
There's a lot of good information on YouTube.
There's a lot of good information.
Like the Compressor Guru.
That's right. We wanted to put a channel up where it gave you good how-to information about your compressor. And what I see AI doing is taking good information and writing a summary, and the AI isn't real intelligence. The AI is saying, oh, 40% of the people say this, 20% say this, 10% say that. If you're part of the 10%, you're correct. You're getting two answers that are telling you the most likely cause is bearings. The second most likely cause is bad oil. The third most likely cause is a broken valve. And the broken valve was right. That was one of my test questions. When I was talking to Ethan about this, he said that one of the most important things about using AI is using the best question, well-written, correct glossary question you can possibly use, and you'll get the best answer. So I tested this, and I got a little bit better results, but still less than 50% of the results, the first, second, or third answer were incorrect. The other part of writing that best question to get your best results, and I'm not making fun of you guys, I get phone calls going, hey, my regulator's going bad on my air compressor. Okay, and you're calling the regulator where the comes out of the compressor, goes into the hose, and restricts the air going down to 100 pounds going to your tool. No, the regulator, the thing with the wires that starts it and stops it. That's a pressure switch. Many of you don't have the glossary in your mind to ask the right question. Hey, that brass thing, it pops. It's going, it's acting up.
Is that a pop-off valve?
A safety valve.
Oh, see, yeah.
Safety relief valve, safety valve. And Oh, that safety valve between the engine and the compressor on my gas driven. Well, that's the aux valve. Or the load jenny or the pilot. Different brands use different names. So, without the ability to be as specific as you need to be on AI, don't trust AI. Use your real intelligence, or better yet, contact the compressor guru through thecompressorguru.com. The last thing about this warning episode, and it's a bit of an encouragement. AI, you can't trust it for this technically specific business we're in for diagnostics. At least not yet. In the future, AI may get better, but until they figure out how to quit doing a summary based on numbers, AI doesn't have logic. It writes summaries based on numbers. Ethan said even the doctors are using it, and he named what the brand AI doctors are using, and assuming that the AI is only looking at medical journals, it might be better. I still want my doctor using his head. I've seen news where AI writes briefs for lawyers, and AI has been making up precedents from other cases that don't exist, and the lawyer doesn't check it and presents it to the judge and gets in trouble. Guys, stick to real intelligence. You have a question, contact me through the Compressor Guru. Different episode. We'll be back in 2 weeks, and we're going to do one more cybersecurity episode, and we're going to show you the cybersecurity that we have to protect your confidential information. Thank you. God bless. Camera wife, anything else to say?
Oh, I have lots to say, but really nothing about this episode, so have a great day, everybody. God bless.